Listen, here's the thing: is she? You know, when we got back together, we both kind of said, because when we first met. Well, because what I was saying before is how my mom got pregnant right away and was like, don't ever do that. When I met my girlfriend, 6 years ago, we got pregnant right away. She had a baby on like the second date. And then we went through.
Is that true?
I swear to God. And it's the best thing that ever happened to me because, I love my daughter and she changed my whole world.
How old were you at the time?
30.
It's almost like you having the kid and having her for 5 years turned you into the man that could be with her.
But then when we break up and we're looking back and we're like, oh, like whatever, we were great co-parents and whatever. And then we had said, when we were like, oh, if we ever had a chance to like do it over again, like we would just date and do things.
You never.
Then quarantine. How about this? Then quarantine happens. We kind of, we didn't hook up or anything, but I was just like, coming around, and then. I leave and then I come back again in we have like a false start.
Now. You're also someone she can actually justify dating.
But then I come back at the end of August and we hadn't had sex in 2 years. First night we have sex. 6 weeks later, she's like, I'm fucking pregnant again. So we did the exact thing that we did for my first child, for my second child. It just doesn't stop with getting her. We just have kids.
This is the universe wants you to breed.
Have children. Yeah.
But did you attempt to not get her pregnant? Were there any precautions in place?
We're always attempting. We the pull and pray. Hello, but Jesus isn't listening. But listen, we don't regret anything. We're both like, look, we love being parents. We love our child. But my stepson, who's 10, like he was confused. He was like, whose kid is this? He's like, well, you're back? And I'm like, he's like,
we hate you.
He's like, yeah, whose kid is that? Is that my dad's kid? He's like, I want my family back. I have this fucking idiot in here. He keeps coming back and forth.
That is what a bummer for him.
Me and my stepson's father, by the way, are like this, and my girlfriend hates it. We fucking love each other. We love being friends. We love our families. And he's just like, dude, yep. And she's like, why don't you guys like each other? I'm like, he's the fucking man. Why did you ever break up with this guy? He's got so much inside info on Bitcoin. It's unbelievable.
I'm obsessed with this. My ex-boyfriend, I sort of cheated on him with one of his like heroes.
It happens.
and then when he was like all upset, we were living together.
Sure.
I cheat with one of his heroes. I kind of leave him for one of his heroes. I'm with one of his heroes, and he calls me like 6 months later, and he's like, "Do you guys want to hang out?" Like he was like, "I'm over it. Like, I'm just curious if you guys want to maybe get dinner."
Yeah.
Like I'm cool.
But see, but I get that because again, if that happened to me, if my girlfriend left me for one of my heroes, I'd be like, whatever.
Give me a couple weeks to work through it, and then we can just jump back in. Let me ask you, what is something that in your next kid you want to do differently than the first kid? Where you're like, all right, I figured that I'm not gonna do that again.
Not gonna do that again.
Yeah, or like I got it now. I know to.
I think the one thing that so far, like with my daughter, I think because I tried.
The first one's practice.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
Practice. Yeah,
let's be honest. As a guinea pig.
Yeah, there's a couple of things that I'm like, that's going to be a lifelong issue that I just created, but I didn't mean to. But it's just an accident.
She'll be a very successful comedian.
Yeah. It's what it is. I think with. A lot of times with me and my girlfriend, we kind of just would like not talk to the kids about like the problems we were having. We would just like walk out and then come back. And I didn't realize, like, even though my daughter was only 1 or 2 when we first broke up, I was like, her brain, like she felt energy. So I'm very hell bent on like working it out with her and like being honest and upfront with my kids about like everything that was going on.
And you can tell them because kids know, and when you don't tell kids the truth, if you're fighting with your person and you're like, oh, we were just doing an acting exercise, baby, we were just play acting, they start to doubt their reality.
No, that's exactly what I would do. There was a couple of times where like we got into arguments.
Like, Dad, you're a bad actor.
Yeah, there's a couple
of his first words.
I know there's a couple of times where I was like, we were arguing or whatever, and I actually said that. She was like, why were you yelling and cursing? I'm like, oh, I was going over my line. She's like, I thought you got fired from Beastmaster. I'm like, I did. That's why we live in this 2-bedroom walk-up.
That's why I'm doing pre-reads for CISO.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah, but me and my girlfriend, we're good now, and everything's good, and we're working, and we're trying to, because we never really had a chance as a couple to, every red flag that went up for me or for her, we just had to like find a way to get around this because, we have a child coming on the way, and it was our first child, and we barely knew each other, and we're trying to figure this all out, but now we know each other. Now we're like, now we know like what pisses each other off, so, it's kind of like we don't do it unless we just want to start a fight, then one of us will push that button, and we get, and one of us throws each other out
Do you
of the
ever
house.
start fights
we
just to
back.
get jokes?
Oh yeah. Well,
I do it all the time. It's
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah.
It's so